How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 2, Episode 12, and this one's entitled Museum Hearts. It originally aired January 7th, 1990, so yeah, Monsters is officially in the 90s now. That's cool. The episode was directed by Ted Gershuny, who was a Tales from the Dark Side regular. Good to see him back on this. And the episode stars Patrick Breen, Louise Roberst, Sarah Trigger, and Pamela Dean Kinney. Now, this is kind of a weird episode, and it has some surreal moments to it. But that being said, it is kind of like half weird and surreal and original, and half kind of predictable. You know, in the weird and surreal part, you get this big empty section of a museum, a room that's not ready yet and not supposed to be open to the general public. Cool, creepy, and empty. And you also get this really cool design for the Bog Witch. Really good full makeup job, and she is a really creepy character. But on the side that's not so original, it's this guy who's a total scumbag, and we kind of know where this anthology horror thread tends to go. Maybe a little bit of black magic isn't so bad when you're dealing with this jerk. Whatever though. Like I said, there is enough cool and creepy atmosphere in here, and it does enough to keep you guessing. You know, you see the witch. She's super creepy to start off with, and then, you know, she has like a stone heart, and the heart's drinking blood, and then her magic powers causing vines to grow everywhere. There's enough unpredictability in here to make up for the messaging being very standard and normal, and I guess the atmosphere does make up for a lot of it. Now, I will say there is a strange tendency in this episode for characters to underreact. Like, for real, the wife finds out about the affair, and she's upset, but you think she'd be screaming, you think she'd be fuming, but she just seems upset. And then, like, the witch comes out, and they're scared, they run away, sure, but then the guy goes back to flirting with the woman, and you're like, dude, you remember there's an evil witch over there, right? So that is a weird thing with this episode. Again, it doesn't ruin it. The episode, I think, is better than the past couple we've gotten. It definitely is a step up, and it definitely is pretty fun. Again, not the perfect episode, but a good amount of surreal and dreamlike atmosphere, so maybe the underreactions kind of contribute to that. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, a fun enough episode, but definitely not perfect. Anyway, though, I guess in order to analyze it further, let's take a little bit of a look at the plot. I want to break down and analyze a few things, but I'll be staying away from the end, so no major spoilers, but we are going to dig a little deeper here. We open up with this guy showing a girl a room in the museum that isn't open yet. And I do like the set, you know, it's basically just big empty walls, some spackling, it's under construction, and I do kind of feel that this was probably just the monster soundstage between setups, you know? Basically, when you do a set, you have a bunch of flats, and you decorate them, and then you tear off the decorations, save the flats, reposition them, and then decorate them a different way. And this really does feel like we're in between episodes at kind of the cleaned off point, cool and dreamlike. Well, the two start to make out when, wouldn't you know it, the guy's wife comes in and he's basically caught in his potential affair. He tries to play it off, but the girl walks in and says, I think the quote is something like, "Daddy, who's this?" Yeah. And I do kind of wonder, because you think that she would have gotten enough context clues to figure this out, but maybe she did know what was going on and was trying to make the other woman aware of the situation, or maybe she legitimately had no clue and accidentally pointed it out to her. Whatever though, like I said earlier, she's upset. I would appreciate if we pushed the emotions even farther, because this should be wrecking, right? But she's upset when, wouldn't you know it, the museum closes down and they got like way too good security because all the doors seal off and trap everyone inside. what do they got, the Declaration of Independence in there? I don't know, but they're stuck now. And we do get a few of the characters, you know, kind of being in this weird situation. The guy's trying to play it off like somehow he might wind up with both women, which, no, dude, that's not gonna happen. And the girls actually start to talk to each other and bond, which is, you know, a good mature thing for them to do. I mean, the other woman had no idea that this guy was married, so good not to blame each other there. Well, they decide to try to get out by going up through the skylight, and there's a box in the museum, and there's a really good shot of the camera up in the air from a bird's eye angle, and he's jumping at it, so it's the point of view of the skylight. Well, he jumps a few times, he breaks through the box, and it turns out there's a mummy inside. The wife, both of them, it turned out, worked at the museum, so she looks and sees what's in the crate, and it turns out it's this Irish witch who was known as a bog woman, and she was sent over to the museum. Again, with this episode being a little bit off, when the museum has a room under construction, you probably wouldn't have the artifacts in there. I mean, just think about it. You don't want to be using a power drill when the Mona Lisa's right over there, right? You wouldn't bring the artifacts in until the room was ready for them, but whatever. The guy, when he broke through the box, cut his foot, and in a bit of a weird character moment, he uses the bloody rag that he used on his foot to reach into the witch's chest and pull out her heart, which is a totally normal thing that anyone would do, right? Well, it turns out her heart is made out of stone. Oh, and it's also going to soak the blood up that was in the rag. It literally starts drinking his blood and getting hot. Yeah, I think something's going to happen. We do see some of the witch start to come alive, and those shots inside the box are super, super creepy, even if they maybe go on for a little bit too long. And then next thing you know, the witch is up, and luckily for them, like half the set has like a chain link fence, and they're able to get on the other side of it. But the witch has strange and mysterious powers, and a little fence isn't going to stop her. And as I hinted at earlier, yeah, after a little bit of time has passed, this guy goes back to flirting with them, and for real, do you not remember that there's a witch on the other side of that fence? Not just a witch, but an undead one. Whatever. Like I said, some of the setup is a little off, like that museum door just sealing everybody inside and the characters underreacting a little bit, but I think maybe it being a little bit off contributes to the dreamlike nature, and this really does have a good solid atmosphere with this set, especially the witch causing vines to grow in it, and this nice, calm, dark lighting inside, and plus the witch is a really good design as well. So again, the episode's not perfect, there's little bits that don't add up, and the base underlining skeleton is pretty predictable, but again, the atmosphere is really good, and it does have a good tone, and it's a lot better than those past few we've seen, so it is a step in the right direction even if it's not perfect, and here's hoping for more good episodes in the future. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me cover the past episodes of the show, you should be able to find them there. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.